Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the largest crypto channel on all the interwebs. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. If you like money in crypto, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you think I like to read a bunch of books like the ones behind me, you may be mistaken. These are all my wife's books. We have an entire library here. You can thank her for that. But guys, today we are going to be talking about 4 altcoins that I'm watching that I think have absolutely huge potential for the next few weeks. Now, right now, we're at a very interesting place in cryptocurrency due to the fact that Bitcoin is plummeting, right? It has maybe found a bottom, moving back up, but it's stuck in the $50,000 to $60,000 range for right now. That is good for altcoins. We want that. As Bitcoin stalls out, it gives altcoins time to breathe, and many of the altcoins have been crushed this week. Many altcoins posting 30 to 50% losses this week. Now, this is not what happens at the peak of a bull run. At the peak of a bull run, Bitcoin goes down, altcoins go up. We were starting to see that with Ethereum a little bit earlier this week, but the fact that altcoins have been overall affected by the drop in the Bitcoin market seems to indicate that we're not at a bottom, or we're not at the top of the market yet. And of course, you guys know I've been very clear about my feelings on this. I do not think that we are. So I just want to make this quick video to talk about 4 altcoins that I'm looking at. I own all 4 of these altcoins. In fact, these are some of my biggest holdings, at least 2 of them. One of them is our biggest holding outside of Bitcoin, which would be pretty obvious. And you've got to understand there is an effect on the overall market based upon this one coin that's about to explode. And of course, I'm talking about Ethereum. Ethereum has hung so tough while Bitcoin has found a bottom that when it starts to go up, it's going to absolutely explode. Now, later this week, we're going to show you guys some stuff on Ethereum. Chris from Crypto mentioned there's something on the Ethereum chart that he's not seen in 2 years. Now, there's also something on the Bitcoin chart. If you go back to March of 2020, which is last year, so we're talking about 13 months ago, that's the last time after the crash, after the market crash, the stock market crash, the Bitcoin crash, the pandemic crash, whatever you want to call it. Bitcoin is now at its lowest level in the RSI since then. Basically meaning right now, Bitcoin is more oversold than it has been since the March 2020 pandemic crash. So we're looking at something for Ethereum that we'll look at tomorrow in the charts that is shaping up to be explosive. We know Bitcoin is oversold like it hasn't been before. The point is, all the stars are aligning right now for Ethereum to absolutely moon. Many people believe that by the end of June, we will be looking at a $5,000 or more Ethereum. I've said $10,000 by the end of the summer, which technically is until September, but I'm thinking hopefully by August. So there's a lot of reason to think that Ethereum right now in the $2,200, $2,300 range, I think maybe even peaked back up to $2,400 recently. I can't remember exactly where it's at now at the time of this recording. But the point is, it's getting ready to boom. And when Ethereum booms, it's going to take what I believe to be a lot of coins with it. As we head closer to July for the EIP 1559 release with the London hard fork and the burning of ETHs, which is going to remove billions of dollars of Ethereum from the supply over the next couple of months, over the remaining months of the year after July, we can look for not only Ethereum to boom, but also the Ethereum ecosystem. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's start with what I believe to be my number 2 pick right here. And we're just going down in order of coin market cap here. But number 2 would be Uniswap. Uniswap has gotten absolutely crushed lately. But guys, think about this. All of these launch pads we're seeing, these Polkadot launch pads, these Cardano launch pads like Altcoin Finance and CardStarter, 2 projects you know we love. Of course, we love Polkastarter for Polkadot. All of these almost are launching Ethereum coins. Like, they're not launching actually on Polkadot. That's why they're available on Uniswap. Same thing with these Cardano coins. They're not, most of them are going to be released on their test nets as Ethereum tokens before finally moving over to the Cardano ecosystem down the road. So that means Uniswap is going to be able to take advantage of a lot of these other projects that are going to be launching to fill the Cardano and the Polkadot ecosystem. More use. combined with the fact that the Berlin hard fork has seen in reality, the lowering of gas fees, they are coming down, making it easier for smaller traders to get back into the game. So we're looking at Ethereum. We're also looking at Uniswap as the Ethereum ecosystem gets jump-started again. Next, we're going to look at the top Ethereum DeFi project, which is Aave. It's at $330 right now. It has been crushed. It got back up to 500 and smacked back down closer to 300. Well, once again, the Ethereum ecosystem is going to get buzzing and moving again, which when Ethereum moves, people get excited. We know over the last year, there's been more views on Ethereum videos on YouTube than Bitcoin videos on YouTube. Process that. When Ethereum gets the attention, the Ethereum ecosystem gets the attention. So Ethereum crushing it, we'll have Uniswap that'll be moving up again. And now we're going to be looking at the top DeFi project on Ethereum, which is Aave. Now, people will be, looking to take advantage of their flash loan system, of other aspects of the Aave project. And so Aave is one at $330 is an absolute steal. It's one of the biggest projects that we hold, definitely in our top 10 for our overall portfolio. So when DeFi really starts to get hot again, the transactions are going to be easier. They're going to be cheaper. I believe Aave right now at $330 is a heck of a deal. Last but not least, now this is a little more of a speculative pick because it has absolutely crushed it during this bull run so far in 2021. But I'm going with the top Ethereum Layer 2 solution, which is Matic. I mean, I still call it Matic because I can't remember to call it Polygon. But technically, this is Polygon. This was launched as Matic on the Binance Launchpad. We looked at all those Binance Launchpads recently, projects, how they've absolutely crushed it. You've got Elrond is the best one ever. You, of course, have Cartesi, which would probably be my number 2 ETH Layer 2 solution right now. Cartesi, I also believe, will crush it. But Polygon is primed in great position to make massive moves. The major advantage that Polygon has over, let's say, Cartesi or some of the other, ZK rollups or any of those other solutions is the fact it's on Coinbase. It's extremely easy to buy. All you got to do is head on over to Coinbase and buy it. You get charged a hefty fee for doing it that way. You might be better off to use Coinbase Pro. But the fact is, ETH Layer 2 solutions, while ETH2 rolls out, they are going to be absolutely huge, absolutely massive. That's why we partnered with Cartesi. But Polygon is number 1 in that area, and we expect Polygon to continue to crush it. It's only down, I think, 13% this week. That's why it's a little more speculative. All these other projects we've looked at are down much more than 13%. Well, not Ethereum, actually. Ethereum actually held tough. But we look back at Aave, it's down 30% for the week. Can't remember exactly where Uniswap is, but it's down massively as well. But Matic is, I think, it's somewhere between 50 and 70 on CoinMarketCap, and it's down only about 13 to 15% for the week. So the top side may not be huge, but just look for these Ethereum projects to really start to move as Ethereum comes back into the focus. It is the darling of the crypto world. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. So you guys let me know, what coins are you buying? Drop those down below. I want to see them. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.